By 2014, I was so heavy, well over 400 pounds. And I know that was that way because I had already stopped using my scale, because the scale only went up to 390, and I was a lot bigger than that. And I was physically active, like going to the gym for workouts 3 times a week, playing golf once or twice a week where I would walk 5 miles, carrying my clubs. I didn't have high blood pressure. I didn't have high cholesterol. I didn't have bad liver enzymes. And if I didn't eat enough during the day, I started waking up at the refrigerator at 3 in the morning, where the lights of the refrigerator woke me up. Walked through a dark house in the dark, no lights on, got from my bedroom all the way to the refrigerator. The lights would wake me up and I would have my mouth full of food. I'd have leftovers in both hands. I could just cram it in. And I tried to figure out what was going on. The first time it happened, I was at a loss because what little I could remember of my dreams, it had nothing to do with food. And yet there I was eating. The second time it happened, when I really thought about it, I'd walk through an entirely dark house. No night lights, no lights, little lights in the halls. And I had walked from a bedroom I was still moving into, piles of stuff in the room, including dirty clothes and towels and laundry, snaking through the living room furniture, snaking through the dining room furniture, finally getting to the refrigerator. And I thought about it. How the heck? I couldn't go back to my room without turning on lights. How did I get there in the dark when I wasn't even awake? That's when I realized it. Parasites had to be controlling me. And that was a horrible realization, was that I had read about this, but I'd never really thought about it. I was the host, and the parasites were in control. So even when I started decreasing my food volume, if I was hungry in the middle of the night, parasites would wake me up, they would wake up the body, not me, and we would walk down through that dark house and start eating. Now, there may have been times where I was doing that and I never woke up. I used to live with my son Derek, and I would accuse him of eating my leftovers, even though when I thought about it objectively, I realized he didn't even save his own leftovers. He was very small on eating leftovers. And yet here I was blaming him about eating my leftovers. So once I realized instead that I was the host, the parasites were in control of me, and then they could use our shared body better than I could. They could see with my eyes, they could see the obstacles going through the darkened house. And some of these nights where I didn't wake up, I finished eating and they went back upstairs and then went back to bed. And there I was, 450 pounds perhaps. And one day I was wearing a white clinic jacket and white clinic pants, and the size 48s were too tight, and I ordered some size 50s. And my jacket in those days was a 56. So I still was sort of proportional, kind of like a barrel. But I thought of that size 50 and I said, this has to change, and I'd never found diet pills to work because I still felt hungry. So then when I woke up in front of the refrigerator and I knew that it was the parasites, stopped eating the leftovers, closed up the refrigerator, turned on the light in the kitchen, turned on the light in the living room, turned on the light going up the stairs and down the hall, went back to my bedroom, and I went into my personal bathroom and I looked myself in the mirror and I said, parasites, you're in there and I know you're there and I'm going to kill you.